Ain't metieno on this, and then I'll come back. Atik. On BOG, any minority threat.
Yeah, me that say. Let me say, last week and the week before, me by how become once some and I was upset with some of the numbers and I mean, and I on a different platform, I said I would join in the picketing, but sometimes when you are not served the food menu now, you tend to have some opinions.
Yeah.
But when explanations need be bar, then if if you are rational, someone say, oh, it is because I didn't have the full complement of information.
I think we say, Obi, Honorable Pius is a nice gentleman with an infectious smile. A man with a good heart, poised to wrestle the Sujaman seat from the NDC. Or say, tell the NDC man that some of us in a Sujaman, knowing Pius for who he is, are more than ready to provide him pickups for his campaign. I am therefore donating a pickup to Honorable Pius for his campaign. Tell him. From Dr. Kingsley Darko, a Sujaman Constituency Council of Patrons. Unimino.
Minimum pa.
What's your amount pickup?
Doc.
Radio gets results.
Oh yeah, get results.
Doc me that say papa. Remember the draw. Doc me that. I told me sukura.
What do you want to say?
I'm humbled. On say me cover me nomination form. Now no me catch you say me yes short cutting. And na bebu no be board dumping. Me ana my year margin say me kwa kofa form ne de. Before we realize no, bebu na kofa form no e de be mame. A vote of confidence, a humbling, and ne nkomo ayedi. Obi e de abetudwa. Sebi pick up enya de ayefa ne fam. Na Dr. Midawasi na ye enye pious project a Sojaman rising. Nti kwan bia e be fa so a Sojaman be fa ne ntuma pa afra no. Ye be fa so na ye hia empanyin ti se wo emwa obi a oye krado se obebu ame se wonya ho a wo texti eko eba program isu se mpo wantumi an texting mpo na onimi din komo ekokwemu a na ye be so mu ye be da wasen so ye ngumu ni mu ase ye ndi mu hwamon so da Dr. Edawasi papa
yes Atik in the twasomani
na me kase I mean and issues of finance and economics there, when you are presented with a set of numbers, you speak to those numbers. Na Nchichimuba, to clarify the reason numbers need be eti the way eti na. Sebi, as a rational agent and actor, I say what you mean. Three breaks, Now so what the explanation and make better judgments. When him say. When I read the auditor report, without the complement of explanations are better numbers, I was like, look, the central bank governor and they deserve to be fired. But I know my press conference, and I am thrilled.
A Bank of Ghana.
Yes, sir. They took the time to explain your money because. And I must be frank, sir, or more financial director, the one you had the interview with, did not really help matters.
Okay.
And it even deepened my resolve, sir, paying for no esomoko. But having read in Yomudiabano, I think that they should have done this earlier. This press conference should have preceded whatever communication they brought out. Oma Chechemu, Amma Mimatia says, look, Niesi, it was an attempt to rescue a failing fiscal side of our economic policy. And And before this press conference, I was under the impression that this is the first time we are having the central bank record a negative equity position. But even as recent as between 2012 and 2015, we had a similar situation.
Really?
Yes, we did. What I say, and for me. Idea. This is fresh information and it's very, very educative. It's very enlightening to know. Say this is not the first time Bank of Ghana incur losses. It is affecting their equity position. Now, when we underwent structural adjustment program, also we had a similar experience. And yet the case said this is the first time the Bank of Ghana is going through that.
What was the loss then?
What's that?
What was the loss then? The one
Are you
that
talking about quantum?
The amount was how much? Amount now
Well,
attributing nursing.
Well, I do not know the amount, but what I'm saying is that I, before today,
didn't know,
sir, we had the central bank, and I even made that comment, and a team from Fan Chemi, I think it was made out of ignorance. I said, sir, this is the first time Marty said the central bank has incurred losses to the extent that it is affecting their equity position, driving it to the negative province. Watch my say. But as recent as 2012, and now between 2012 and thereabout, BBC also is here. And if you read paragraph 13 of their release, it says, and if with your permission, I would wish to, read ad verbatim. It says that I must also add that if one takes time to go through historical financial statements of the Central Bank or Bank of Ghana, you will realize that this is not the first time that the bank has gone into negative equity. During the early years of structural adjustment, very large exchange rate depreciation led to revaluation losses and drove the bank into negative equity. Indeed, anytime the economy faces major challenges, the Bank of Ghana balance sheet suffers and the equity position moves into negative territories. And this is where it is even very, important. And I think even as recent as 2017-2018, also you recall that in 2017 and 2018, the Bank of Ghana incurred similar negative equity from the impairment of legacy liquidity support loans granted in 2015 and 2016. And Mami Chechemu, what do you say in 2015 and 2016, some of our banks, per the assessment of the central bank, were becoming insolvent. They needed some liquidity injections. Until Abai, through the central bank, decided to say, Yemfasasike, Mwasa banks nibi. And you Ubeka said, some of the CEOs are standing trial because of how they manage, not just mismanage the banks, but how they manage our liquidity injections.
Support nearby,
exactly. Until it became legacy debt. So liquidity support turned into debt. And between 2017 and 2018, it drove the bank's the central bank's balance sheet into the negative. And this is not the first time. A BSCDA. And like, I read earlier, during the structural adjustment period, so BBC is here. And to me, this is fresh information for me. And I'm sure Zen Crawford will be this is coming to them as fresh information. Because then, like I said, Mika said this is the first time Marty said the Bank of Ghana is recording losses and driving its equity into the negative. The other issue soon said Central Bank decided to support the Ministry of Finance and Yankana Abain. And Medika Haka say Central Bank and a Bank of Ghana no more modern Senebeya umbetimi abua ama Ghana yen drew pempenso as Sri Lanka na nasi for ekudru no. And what drove us to that point in the first place? Ye kan but finance minister NTA yen. We kept saying that look, put a stop and a moderate extent to which you borrow. Because borrowing there also. What you say? But Minister for Finance NTA yen, he used all kinds of words to justify his excessive borrowing. No, you or yes, smart borrowing. But there's never a borrowing that is smart. Until a DM group and Pensubia, your debt service became too high. What must I say? And beyond your debt service, so because of the nature of our public debt, we had closed the door to accessing international capital. Until now, because we have bills to pay. Debt servicing. Si yenye sika kakre bia na de akwa debt servicing. And the central bank etna ase. Edwin hu say look, ne ekosu yi, ebetim ne ekosu yam nye bibia mboa, ebetimi ahadwen. And of course, as I said, we also underwent a turbulent experience, the COVID-19 experience. A idea nobody anticipated, and nobody could plan against it. Until ehun nyina ema eni beye bebre. Until can you believe that we're spending between $3 to $4 billion US annually on servicing debt? That cannot be sustainable. Ministry for Finance, omuni sikano omunti mi nyasa sikano. And coupled with the fact that COVID by they had to step in until they bought some of the bonds, COVID bonds now, Ministry for Finance and Ministry of Finance, FLOT. It was all in a bid to support. These were all liquidity support schemes the Bank of Ghana decided to do. Because there was liquidity crisis. The government of Ghana was experiencing liquidity crisis. No muniska. And it's a central bank now to honor there's this liquidity crisis. Why you be beer? A group and Bensua as Sri Lanka could do you. One day you cry, the central bank will not even be able to do anything to help. Until any minimum, a so to me be edibois. And this is information I'm there to do, and I think it's very helpful. But when him, idea am there, and he said, Omo who said there is a need to help no. Omo am fa decision keke, and yet governor and the deputies no kwanda ko fa sa decision no. It became a function of a board's decision. And a board no so was minded by the fact that government of Ghana was going to undergo a certain program. And as a bay here say yeni IMF one so bedins our then what would be the implications on the Bank of Ghana, any operations are omuye if they decide to support the Ministry of Finance and by extension government. Senabeya omu mfa omu pen koye bibia edi ohabe bre omu na by extension ebe bre Ghana for. So they decided look, let's have a conversation. Until omuye, you know, they had engagement with the IMF, the Ministry of Finance, and all other stakeholders. And the IMF wanted to say, look, we've done our assessment. Muya, it will not impact the bank to such an extent, say, a bit to make good bank nejuma. Until Muya Bua government of Ghana, say, so the decision to support, offer liquidity support to government of Ghana was a function of consultations.
Including one with the IMF.
With the IMF.
But the minority's point has been said they didn't bring it to Parliament. Parliament are approval.
They didn't have to go to Parliament.
Even when they were exceeding the 5% of previous year's revenue.
See, if you read section 30, and if you would indulge me, so you can Google the Bank of Ghana Act. Section 30, subsection 6 of the Act allows them and it gives them in such emergency situations to do near omuye. But I say yes, they from 2017 until 2021, no omuye zero financing of the Ministry of Finance.
Sure.
Crisis no buy no, and more omuye, you know, financing of Ministry of Finance. I think they did in 2 years, 2022 and I think 2021, 2022.
Yes.
And it's understandable. What you say, say we had gone through crisis, and I have issues with how the Ministry of Finance handled the COVID situation. Sikana omunya no nanka ehia omu manage sikani ya ebia there would be no need for the central bank to even want
come
in the subsequent years. But yam funny say the Ministry of Finance did not handle the situation well. They have a responsibility. And omudwin hu say look, say yanye bibia mfa ho a even the IMF program we're trying to access because they were requiring say by 2028 we should have had a debt to GDP ratio of 55%.
55, sure.
Ungrofri the haircuts punk ne bibia by still na emfa. So na ebe here say the central bank baby send they can meet that threshold to be able to access our facility and to go for that reform program which would then enable them to access the facility and husika urban. I think say they were doing it to rescue the country, but they say it is look. I would have thought say the focus would be on the Minister for Finance creating and our Minister of Finance creating a problem. The central bank only stepped in to rescue the situation, but idea like I said, then say omu boom rabiswana. And the answer to it is say, Omunye. What is the uncle boom rabiswa? I would have had issues with them, like I expressed my views earlier. But Usha in Chechemom Diaban, Oman boom rabiaso. And say Obi Juma, and the idea is Obebwa. Look, if you read, I think section 3, and of the act, I stand corrected. That talks about the objectives of the bank, no.
Yes,
But Kuni said,
object of the central
yes,
bank.
it is to help in economic development. The last part of it says so. And the economic development, how can you have economic development when your country has collapsed, when your economy has collapsed?
Yeah.
And there's some year bibi edibua. A woman say edi nsunsanso biaba. But the key question is say bisane say ne edi kan omo ebumra answer ne say there be. Na ne omo aye no ebetimi egu central bank any dwuma omo ye na ana. The answer ne say and yes sir, they can still perform. They are still solvent. In fact, they are still policy solvent. What you must hear. Until the central bank can still perform its functions. What you must hear. And the other issue is they didn't just get up, say, oh, you per se Boa Ministry of Finance and now buying because issues are bad.
Yeah.
The Ministry of Finance wrote to them and they proposed part of the reason losses now and they said they did overdraft to they extended an overdraft to the Ministry of Finance and I can buying. And secondly, they also absorbed and I agreed to absorb 50% haircut on all their non-marketable bonds are omutoye
for the DDEP, no.
Exactly.
The DDEP, no.
What must here? And it was the Minister of Finance the trauma say, baby, you do it yeah, which we are and ye. One be more yentimi nye program no na ehun faso na ye benya no abampo. And what you can do to help me say you would have to accept. And there's someone who says central bank is not like a commercial bank. What does here? Except you must agree to take some 50% haircut on your non-marketable bonds. And now they did consultation and almost said, look, we have to take this to the board.
Who chairs their board?
The
governor.
Thank you.
Oh, said the board is not made up of just the government.
I just asked you that question for a reason.
No, it's important.
I know, but Mr. Naim without it.
Oh no, I know. But the reason important is that the board is not one man. No. It's not just the governor. There are people from different institutions or more institutional representation on the board. There are experts on the board. And Sanko on one can say, oh, I've accepted to give Central Bank 50% haircut without recourse to the board now. And that provides a fair basis for him to be fired. But Oman, yes, I'm the core board. What is the highest decision making body of any organization?
The board of
exactly. And it's just like Congress, the highest decision making body of political parties. No, Sana Oko organization Bia, board the highest decision making body. And if you want to take the toughest decision, where else would you take it? Him van Adebeko, Senya board now. And on sa proposed 50% haircut. And a board need two. And and for me, my issue is that look, even overdraft financing, you can was me. And then has start you. And between 2012 and 2015, Central Bank did overdraft financing. Omo di Bima Minister of Finance.
Because of the crisis now at the time.
And Americano, and they've also debunked a certain view that is making around there. The financing of Ministry of Finance on annual basis. I'm saying they've done it only between 2017 and now. They've done it only for 2 years, 2021 and 2022.
And on the balance of probability, you would believe the BOG more than any other person.
These are public. This is data. I mean,
verifiable data.
And they have no reason to do so. What them say? The two sources of macroeconomic data in this country, apart from the statistical service, the Ministry of Finance and the Bank of Ghana. And in fact, a lot of the time, the Ministry of Finance, figures every
Bank of Ghana,
because they have a whole research department. And they cannot be putting out data air force. Then let's just Ghana the what is here? Now, another issue I think they brought some clarity on. Many are Jew who say me, I was upset. Say, okay, last week, me no crowd beside say. Now, what is it about the building? Bank of Ghana occupy CA. There's a need SABC
to move to a new building.
And they said say earthquake report. We even made the point say there's some report in Banner Abontine Young. Sana enye nene start here. Conversation started in the 1990s. And between 2012 thereabout, land was even acquired. They see 5.9 acre land B. Now a Ministry of Foreign Affairs for the year, and it was supposed to be
still for the head office building.
Yes, I say, but Lands Commission demand Ministry of Foreign Affairs for Ampene.
Okay.
Until man Timan Fan
Okay.
The search for land continued between 2013 all the way to 2016, and on more benya. Well, until me, I was questioning the timing
of the
and the essence, and the rationale, the reason I on person we in. Send a conversation start here, and even in previous governments, there was that attempt. In fact, the team secure land, and as if not just plans were advanced. What was here?
But some have said, when crisis struck,
very good,
they should have suspended.
Very good. That's a critical question.
Yeah.
You say the bank has been profitable since 2019. 2019 they were profitable. 2020, in fact, even 2018 they were profitable. And they started this process from 2019, I think. What must I say?
Yeah.
And they were doing at the time when they had money, when they were profitable, which is a reasonable thing to do as a rational agent that the central bank is no. Omo amfa decision at the time of more crisis. They took it at the time they were making profits, which and I mean, like I said, this information should have preceded any other correspondence. AB would have saved some of us the trouble of having to make comments based on limited information.
Yeah.
What must I say? Almost see some projects now starting in 2022, 2023 are experiencing crisis here. But name started at the time and now recorded profits. And I mean, what is a better time to do projects that office capital projects better than time unya profits? There's no better time to do that. We're trying to say when you are in crisis and now when you are having liabilities, drowning you. Now work will start up. Debbie.
And meaning this is here now committed resources, the project cannot be halted as it stands now.
It's 50% complete. We are the halted project, And there is concern about cost variation. And anybody at all who is worried about cost variation, because I've had cause to, complain about cost variations in the past. Almost the explanations are bad. But the other question I maybe say, I've cited documents from the Central Tender Review Committee. What is here? HSA, even in the market, unit cost is very competitive. Even though they raise certain concerns about, inadequate design and revised designs now,
Yes.
they raise concerns about Ninginano. But at the end of the day, and if anything at all, if say a fee says Sikana variation was sudodo, and it does not deserve a matchy revised designs now. When they say this subon bomb, and yes, under Tender Review Committee form, they approved it.
And that is a body outside the Bank of Ghana.
Outside OBR, every other organization in this country. About procurement, it is a final body that gives the okay. Uko PPA Krana, it still has to go through the Central Tender Review Committee. What is here? And it's all more okay. And they did so with some concerns. And I'm sure those concerns were addressed in subsequent meetings. What is here? And he says, yeah, we are them first born say a project cost now kosra manabroso. And look, from the beginning, the impression was that Obi Wiska. And now Obia for Koti Kwambisu one family Kwanso Akoye project no. But I bet the PFA said that is not really the case. And when we talk about the central bank in carry losses, say benyes obi na ewi amount for ebi mutia at ya kan say nti ase ni say obi na ewi sika makaba enye sa na tie. It is just the kind of overdraft financing, the kind of haircuts that they took no the equity position of the central bank went into the negative form. That is the situation. Yes, obi na ewi sika dey ashen bottom. And if we are talking about procurement, the cardinal question is always, is it competitive? And I've seen letter be a bimu sharing say, oh, there is a certain contractor an evaluation no, according to the Central Tender Review Committee no, it was the criteria was very subjective. But I think that subsequently there was evaluation of their participation, no, and eventually the Central Tender Review Committee said, look, subsequent to that evaluation, they are good to go.
Okay.
And if there is any issue, say etiamra, yeman beded na yan kasantia, and see what action. But if it is just we hear the word loss, na yetimuni de sikebia yira. Oh, there's a project that the central bank is doing, but the central bank is experiencing losses. Yem bisa say time when the project in start here. And who can say now one cheche mu a who can obia dwimu no na mu kra mu hu chiru mu say musa akoya ade. It's so irrational. Eh sabi nyansa bi enim. But who cheche mu say the project started at this point. Ebia what we could suggest is say at this point if you didn't vote enough money for the entire project halt it. But we don't know whether Sikano was voted for it and Sikano Yinayo complete inti omu tuaso. If we don't have that information, we can't also assume say, omu crisis mu and ombe Sikano edi atuaso. There be society amikra mfuaso. But if the information is that it started at the time they were profitable, Sikano wo hwa yedi be project no. I mean, what is the big deal? The variations, so Central Tender Review Committee, Aja to say, even though they had concerns with the, the designs and the rest, but unit cost, as far as the market goes, is very competitive.
Okay.
And to me,
based on the fresh information you are no longer joining the minority.
Not at all. And I would urge, say, they should also take time to study this. If there's a need for further engagement, my suggestion to the central bank governor and Nabedi Chirifon say, if the minorities is minded, they can extend an invitation to him subsequent to studying some new information.
Okay.
Have an engagement with him. The way I'm naming me assure say if we have some engagement, and I think that is the way to go.
Thank you. Atik Mohammed and Yatin in Kano. Let me remind you, say Honorable Pius Senam Hajidewaha, lawyer Shum Berema, and so Ewa. I'm paying for any wedding come. Revenue mobilization, the Bank of Ghana and Sense Seminar. Unim said one critical policy on the fiscal side, the finance ministry implemented a property rate. Na ene yomutremu a ejebo enya babidu. The GRA, in collaboration with the Ministry of Local Government, Rural Development and Decentralization, aka won ho abom no mo se be mfa nto manim say ene o property na wo team no ya capture properties e wo oman yi mu nyina depending on the Metropolitan Assembly awom, Municipal and District Assembly awom. Na information in na available electronically oko portal.myassembly.gov.gh portal.myassembly.gov.gh. The omo Kenyan say once you log on, you enter with your phone number. Now validate your property. Who validate here? Who be who bill? What's a utria for that property, no? And you simply pay electronically. Here say Obenantia ko baby akwa tria debi for phone, mobile money now the tria or debit card, credit card, ubetim the tria, ubetima transfer through bank mu the tria, ubetima throw check. Just say BBI pos the amount your money is so easy at the amount. Pay your property rate. Make a we say na obi pa na property rating so there. Masa when tria watomra. Emrani Act 936 Section 1561. Na a prescriber sanctions Emma Muntia property rate nti enya grown yedi me stress will be tria. Say you have no excuse because your is simple will be transparent. Go online portal.myassembly.gov.gh. In Kaiboi Commissioner General of GRA and Kasana and Sasha you te any bresem number obe fresa won't be 0549 986 968 0549 986 968 na only one etumi edi enkomo GRA asem ena make achrewi ehia papa ansana Honorable Powers bebemuno Consolidated Bank Ghana ye credit your friend CBG omo the account one so bia be friend CBG Business Plus account CBG Business Plus. I can make so a businessman na utie me. Ebia we SME business owner. We school be owner, we founder of the school. Wesi Hospital, or sorry, club, association. Na to yen at CBG, you know, every CD count. So opposite with business ni grow. Si can keep to be any. In the should design this interest-bearing business account for you. I remember true value for your money. With CBG Business Plus account, the amount attractive interest rate, the amount access to checkbooks, USSD banking account, the amount local and international cards, alert, internet banking, CBG mobile app, CBG money voucher platform. They are some our top-notch relationship management. Bank be anywhere obenyas adiewe. What is CBG? Your branches be 114 branches across the length and breadth of Ghana. And the baby Albeko be Obenya Business Plus account TB no be. Me patch of friend number way 0302 216 000. Na only CBG into me in komo na yenhwe emwao. Me the way chat to mo pet dying ato. Me patch my favorite real estate company, Adom City Estate. Omobo Ejuma Brutal. Multi-award winning real estate company. Now, omoma quality and affordable houses. A gated community. Ebi Watema Community 25. Mataheko and a Kaswa. Now, currently, Adaya Air Town, you have 2 bedrooms, detached, semi-detached. You have 3 bedrooms, detached, semi-detached. You have 3 bedrooms, executive detached, and so on. Now, ya dino a starting free 300,000 Ghana the way and rent to 9 wow dear 300,000 Ghana cedis. It's built to perfection, it offers comfort and convenience, and all the amenities that we here will fear. Now what me atna see ni nyina bi wo ho kanea nsuo community based school for your kids, community police station, roads ni nyina are tarred. Ja, Adom City Estate omo ye brutal. Number obefre 0308 250 068. Now no any encomo. Honorable Pius.
Obi.
BOG matters arising.
Obi. Nedi kan misusu se yenua atik. I was say no credit bakope. Me obi oye honorable man. Aye obi a sebi in the light of new information, further and better particulars. Or to me, ejitumu impo esisana dwene. Echrew se nipa yi oye ni papa. Oye onyonyam ni. Enye sebi obi a ye chirichira asem ne mu kra na waye ne ho tintintintin. Waye na adwene. Na impempe no omo yesa no ewo amanyo asem no mu no na eye tumi eprekeke. Enye omanu hu do. Enti enye no krebi na yeka. Ye pese yen hye nipa obeto aba no yen hye nebufuo na onto aba entia obi. Enti asem no ebia na ontia se yie ena wakuma ekọ osoro. Afi ye chirechire mu acherewa. Usi de bida. Udie unti se odogu bi no abe. Na bebia wugina no ehwa na wugina. Me bompa say in the light of the new information about the better and further particulars here, Bank of Ghana edi abetu dweye obi biara nka oye na adwene ese temupo bia na eninam informamu se ebinumu epese omun koye demonstration any nasifo occupy the Bank of Ghana any nasifo no nyina no ana asase no ebinumu kura no egetumu no sisia no kura na bededia nti ase eye dwuma yi de ye betwi ye ho e de free satremu pona ebinumu abono impo bank na kire se wo maye krado se omupe no kredie omupe periperi yoni no se Ghana fo be hu no kra wo munte no omabue omabo gate se nsencherefo mumbra ko sambia obi wono ombisa mijimidi se akwanya wo ho se impo minfa na site ebia menua no mo ndc fo any minority fo ena sebinyado omuntiasie no eweche kakra nka akwanya so ewo ho se omutu ebetumi asan afre Bank of Ghana mpanyin se nukre pa na epese ye ka na se nye politics as usual yen say omudin give the dog a bad name to hang it na ye pese ye se na ye no kufo time ye see Ghana Japade no even our gold reserves kra kufo acheche nkrofo bi kra bank statement aya publish ya ba bontin ebinumu kra wo sika chehin o man Ghana for etie ye in dada asem no nkontompo asem Ghana for tie ya ye to aba etie akufo aban no ye koyechi o na NDC for wini ya mia menua panyin fifi fiavi kwete onu na odi sa sebi yenkotwa ntro propaganda no 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 odi anim okodu parliament veti ye yin minister ehode eja pejiri wunya twa ntro pe ya chiwa ukodim pejiri enti ye bisa no odi chopa osio eye busemeka ona nyina so bi ani ho ye kanetra obi pacho ukai enua na eye mi se ye nuanom yi esan epese womu emfasa ndada ne kwano so na omude ebufo e de ahye Ganafo emu but midanyame ase mi si da bia se ma meka ne se no kura de etise cock udi sensu ase se den uyi unsape ebe pia bontin ye ka se no kura epie ba beti asemi bi na ye kena ye di no kura no sensu ase ena ebufo peja woni pebe enumu ena aban ne nye aban no sei no kura no pie ye no ene yesi NDC for binumu nyaaya anka betting kura no yengu ni nyina abranye sa na nkomo no ehyiase o but yesi no kura de etise nyinsen uye dia ebe pie nyame a yesum no MPP nyame a yesum no Ganafo oye nyame bia sebi oka nokre oye nyame bia wotan na chi wodi nokre mana ye se wodi ni se dien emrepemu nokre ne beba ebinie mini atika kan bebre enti medie mini bebre kan isisi ano se yesi Bank of Ghana no me pese etiefo no ntia se Bank of Ghana enti se GCB Bank, another ADB Bank, another Zenith Bank. It's not a regular commercial bank. Until you see, bank now posting losses. And you know, yes, Muma Yanya Wabutre na Entiasia. And Tisse, Sebi Obi Odi Nija, or Tonyama, until you see, losses, Wabokano, nature said Nisika Asa. Enti ebi adwuma no ye gu anisa yes sir na central bank setie yes re but yan hwe yi a ye nkrofo yi edi yesika bedwa nanka umbeka ne tra adada yen na ye yemu hihye yen na yesi Ghana Bank of Ghana Central Bank no kra no yesi sisia no bank na gu because of maboka is not a regular commercial bank and aminu aka ye 2019 the bank posted positives 1.6 billion Ghana cedis. The same way 2020 1.5 billion. 2021 1.4 billion. Ninyina positives. It just says that time ninyina na inshisheya impenyi edigwa kwa mu no na inshishe no ekosu toti na bibia de ye. Eti ye ka quality management of the economy adansi edafem and in fact they started making profits like he said no as far back as 2018 enti nukre wo hono say impenyi a omuda Bank of Ghana no any economic management generally no e wo ye maimu na enam kwan papa su na ye free sa efutu kwan na mre bi atwemu ye nuanu apensu na ye nam sa efutu kwan so no by 2018 no na ye free ho a na bibia e koso wano e wo ye maimu na fufie na ntwanta ena bibi ba wiase minti ho abakosemu da se wiase fa na nyina obi yesi ansa na obepie fifie no fa bibi hye wano fa bibi kata wehene ebi si da e wo wiase mimi nyini minti ho abakosemu da e wo ye maimu ye yesi embe wo yonku ye friend social distancing yesi sebi yadia sebi na anu eye nyane kakra isise ye pa eni nyame adomenti no udi tutu amaya aka no na nipa wuti se sebi sebi me pesa meka na nipa wu TV so a ye tu nipa gu ti se sebi akukofu no a asai a ye tu gu no baabi wa wu kan esi wo Italy na eni enyan nyamya dum eni MPP ni Akufo-Addo nhihye pa ye dia gwakom Ghana. We had one of the lowest mortality rates, not only in Africa, in the whole of the world, to the extent say yemampenyi na sembi okanokra no na the World Health Organization no penyipa odano afi na oka yemampenyi asem ukai wosi nipa ho kwan ehia ye nche sika se nipa bewu dia ende sika enimu ngwasemum. And so omampenyi Akufo-Addo 2020 eye ne se sa coronavirus kodiewo yare boni ya abai se ni Ghana fo bewu dia lalai ende sika nimu ngwase enti nsuo na ye de ache yen free kani na ye de ache yen eduro na ye wo no ye toye enanum ye toy eduro no coronavirus eduro no ye toye strange ni ayede bebo pane no kwa ye toye nipa enye adwuma otifie na ye tua ne ka asukufo be ko suku na zoom lion ni disi nkofo ebe kwa akoye disinfection ye say sike nyina obi ye petit police fo gumu ye petit soldier fo gumu eduba bi kwa aduane kwa ye chiche aban ya owo etima aban ya owo abadaye enu na atikika se nam se sa crisis no nam se yempese Ghana fo be wu agulole kwan ho entinu ye ne se hane de etru ne edini Bank of Ghana bremu mayen. That was the only time where ye started say ye bua nanka the preceding years no bibi science. In fact, Bank of Ghana almost statement no mudia to jano.
Ye na wrap up mama me patch.
Emi say atika kan nyina because onya time bebre enye hwe. Assembly there. What assembly there?
Any youth policy say youth
assembly there aka ne ho kra wie. But wo de mame fa we kakra bi enfa wie.
One tough na lawyer.
Unse assembly ba ya. Ye say BC da. Ene abedane de senye na dikani. Overdraft ye no mendi si for penso. O ma gia uko paragraph 50 obi we na me di wie we ehia me pa paragraph 15 of the statement. Bank of Ghana, let me go to the relevant area. Or see, between 2012 and 2015, the Bank of Ghana provided overdraft to finance government and cocoa board every year, and there was neither a pandemic nor a global crisis. And you know, you see debt na ye kan wasem no we had the preceding paragraphs, the preceding sentences e chese ne ye kan no it days back debt na ye kan wasem sese no enye MPP apensu esika keke ekoye akọ 1992 ni nyina was statement no mo ye no no ndisi achichi ni nyina e di asua Akufo-Addo se Akufo-Addo nkwa na ye legacy debts wo ho overdrafts na muji ye between 2012 and 2015 e wo ho e ye ka e wo say tumitua yen cars da obi se baby agina sese yepo baby agina ne nye na me bompa ye se ne wo kan no sese ano GRA for property tax ndc for echina wo mu issue statement say wo mu kwako occupy GRA because sese ane de bibia ye be ye bia se yankasa ye be boaboa ye ho independence fa ho de na mpanyinjima ye no se be ye be sorry de bia se ye kwa brofofo no ho se mbo ye mbusia yankasa ye raise ye revenue ebini omusi if you see officers of the state confront or attack them whatever me bompa ye say GRA asem da wodi atodwa say property rate in the year 2023 the year of our Lord Ghana yentumi property rate digitalization tino say sisi awu kan say obi enter ne fie no enter the property rate ye koye ni mu anase ye sayechi ye koye ni mu ankasa under a responsive government. Intimate minuano say better particulars na abano new information na abano obeye tintintintia na say the honorable thing that was done, and I admire the young man say otumi kanu krese in the light of new information no he has to amend his position and discourage anybody you better no. In any case, Bank of Ghana hono a security zone e hona ye sika iwo me bompa ye say nyese ebinumu na omani abre campaign sika omususu say ye ko hona gidi na ebi abo awura ko sika mu try ya Ghana for fanche mo ndisi for
per my security knowledge and understanding, the maximum security zone in this country is the presidency. It has the highest level of security protection than any other place in this country called Ghana.
Yes.
And so munyanda adjective to Musamba to occupy Flagstaff House.
Sikebie Jubilee House.
Local security zone. Me try what there. So local security zone. Yeah, me trust the maximum point. The maximum point at the Flagstaff House. And honum ponumu can of rat and for it me your madness said they will occupy that place. What are you talking about? Let me assist my brother. Atik. Now Busa, the Omuya and Tiamra, take your time and you see, you don't just jump into their statement. When judge didn't go back at all. Sometimes even when they are writing a judgment, they get confused because what shit if you as applicant, I will say we see action name what the other two are, Utranya ya. Omen some like your da say won't compare the other side in Bunti. Ubutu bika buate. Anunti me sraw sebo modiara na trans ya anima e wo Bank of Ghana nsem no ye kan. Ye kasa about one dan omusie procurement process ko he say anima ni bi wo ha na omuye ya na etia mra na. Okay? No. Oh. Pius, sorry. When you were talking, I was here.
Sorry.
Okay.
No, it's good. Sorry.
And get time and do that comparative analysis. Compare the issues at stake with the relevant laws. Obi, I can never be convinced, say, a law tells me not to steal. But I come to tell you, say, because I was extremely hungry and I was dying, I had to steal, and just to survive. Can you just listen? I have to steal
proceed
to survive. What are we talking about? The law, as you quoted to him, says that you are not supposed to exceed 5% of your revenue.
Of your previous year.
Exactly.
30 subsection 6.
I'll read it.
It will help you.
I'll read it. No, I've opened it here. I'll read it.
In a very simplest way, did the law say that?
It did. That in emergency situations, you can.
That's section 36. Okay. Lawyer, I'm about to also.
Kamano.
I thought you were going to read.
Okay. In the section 36, right? No, I have it here. I have the whole act here. In the section 30, about temporary advances. In the 6, in the event of any emergency,
that is where
the governor.
About 10% of
Sure. The governor, the minister, and the controller and accountant general shall meet to decide the limit of borrowing that should be made by government, and the minister shall submit a report on the issue to Parliament within 7 sitting days.
And it did.
And according to BOG, they informed the minister to inform Parliament.
And the minister subsequently.
Okay.
Lawyer, and when we jump to the end, and then we jump to the end.
The legal argument.
What is what's your tennis? You are in government. It means all over time. I say, so you want to inform Parliament. Why not me? I may not be able to. Dispute your worker, but they're making it. But say they are not supposed to exceed a certain number. But they are not can Obi. The I can answer so one about buying BCM, what you call in support terms overdraft. Yatam is Kabia Ama buying. Anna and now Coba says, come on top my buying. I am a financial to say, a mufa. Am a yomka. As something I know. Says you can move from Butama buying. Am a yoka. Now Obi Busamu says, who says a we are the papa and Kababokana. Tinu.
No, DDEP, no. DDEP now there was a homoge.
DDEP in your advance.
Oh,
DDEP
now not just one. In fact, some of them is even attributed to even the depreciation. 5.27 billion. Yeah. Depreciation. They make. I'm not just limiting myself to just DDEP in one. Who they all about DDEP? No problem. But the message I'm trying to say, okay, what report now? And DDEP in one and Mamboka. And I'm remembering, we can see depreciation in one Mamboka 5.27 billion.
And also a function of its management
exactly,
of the
because
dollar.
My point is say, Obi, tell me, and your man was said this over say yes, stabilize. see the humba and some yakin. Why not did the for the rate but about when the microphone the ecoso and yet more and then be a general good so it's your job.
No.
But on the 5% the another can maybe I think munya botre 5% the another lawyer can lawyer law in here where 30 section 37 where the total of loans, advances, purchases of treasury bills and securities made under subsection 1 is 5% of the previous fiscal year's total revenue. The governor shall notify the minister and parliament of the attainment of the limit under subsection 2, and the minister upon notification shall report to parliament on the remedial measures to be taken. In a way, an amended insertional omode aba and Ukai Bank of Ghana earlier statement that they made a point say they informed the minister when who said finances na you know it may be they thought said the minister would then inform parliament.
I mean say emrana nka say one mum name ko inform parliament.
Sure.
The institution bia wo kromo ano agency biase. Sorry, ministry biase. Inti agency biase ministry biase. Say agency ni person call parliament ko bibia. You go through your minister. Okay? And this sir everyone saying BOG for inform the Minister of Finance. That's what the law says. Yes. The end on why say a parliament, say uncle parliament, it is for the minister to tell whether or not so only minister no. Oh, hold on la. Hold on. You who say you blame me finance minister. That is your argument, no problem. I'm not saying. Okay?
So
that is like
to the stealing.
We are helping
the you don't have to help. Let him talk. He is a trained lawyer. We bet my no any argument. Lawyer. I don't need to be an economist to understand. Senior, proceed.
So Obi, in a very simple way, they are making this is an institution where you I mean, yen yesika samso ehwe adohwamaye ana nima bi atosin ewo adwuma ho wo attribute say oh e kan kwa mabano kwa nya de dikan aye boka yabo bi pen amount say na boy me bisa wa tell me the amount
if are interested in this statement
what do you say so officer we I mean comparison dia ka wo bo no obodi say 22 versus 20 the man am sim bo kan me work 100 billion and we mabo 80 billion so for that reason be we no pay less and until we mo me so bo say so that time bo na kase no kwa man resign and say yankase empam de not wa ada na na qualify for me head that would have been a reasonable argument. No, I think okay but the point no it's a fair
was there COVID?
No, don't bring this COVID argument. What the bank more
you say?
What the bank I'm telling you.
COVID didn't happen.
What the bank more because the kind of mismanagement you guys have done with COVID money alone. Pick the other two parts and let's go through. What are you talking about?
Focus, Memphis Pius. Me part to us
so my point is, so if you say, o person can be near about so kasa why yard. E be sinrant wo de no ade na asine to ho de ya. Na so tumi na wo kiresi. Esien say esien so betre ka bo nra. Wo say aban credit bi kwa 2012 2015. Wo say ma aban overdraft bi. O ma ne say. 20 and then year cash one and so ma ne say. Ni enka sie ni. Ni ehwe de o ka ho asem no. But wo na wo say wo just why wo stand na what dream point figures now. You can show us. And then you are supposed to say, I'm planning and say, okay, and what kind of credit, we should buy into it. It's never going to happen. See, if it's all possible, you mean what kind of credit? Obi, Obano, come with figures. Figures, and you mean, any Obi, which any person, any or not taking time. And one also my bicycle. Oman saying, do you expect me to come and sit here and tell you how much you gave to government, whereas you are the one who gave that money to government? One would have my bank. One is a train, okay. Because you gave one yesterday, and then today we are accusing you of two, or even you gave two yesterday and then now one. And we are accusing you, then it's more or less, I mean, an irrational position. But here we are, what mean my comparison, Biara? What mean for figure two? And you are telling us because we have been running, and that's why you be an issue. Pay your statement, justification, I don't know. Yama Odi. And overdraft and that's some overdraft and a cabin to say overdraft and issue about that's the same trouble to Mudia. You don't have to complain because and not in the sea and Yadima Bino. See about Campo Young Casa Governor and Kofi. The simplest logic, no. But Yamma now the other issue is that we are still wussy down. A diner wussy and Obi, Yamusia Jose. A diner wussy no a hooker at the same. Mamus, I think he can be brave. Oh, and I don't know almost started in rat I mean, I started the
almost started time and no
make it then. Okay, now make count mad be. When say between 2020 January to September, the figure, and I said the cost of the building that property, it cost for about $40 million. Why? Why? Adiano was around 81 or so million that time, and then it rose 121 something million.
Variations
in and then you can say 200 something million. Obi, and but if you see the here we are saying that quite fata. Society, I say, look at the situation of this country today. Buying poor baby, won't you be?
But the decision was not taken.
Obi, you need to help the conversation.
Yes, the decision to build was not taken this year. And this year was taken
on currency. Okay, lawyer, bro, close to the microphone. How do you respond to the fact that decision about this building was taken previously? Time and no will make it profit, and if they've already committed the monies to the project, you will not say the project should be halted.
How much money did they commit to the project at that time? Since the decision was taken not today but yesterday. Yesterday, one committee sent to the project.
But it's all bizarre questions. Because
it's important to ask.
Now the answers to these questions must actually be informing your position. You took the position first, and you are now asking for the questions to justify the position.
Imagine.
That they are fishing expedition or no?
Imagine. Imagine. What year can say I take a decision and right? Or taking way before even this time I agreed, no problem. And then Busa said, did they agree to you 200 something million that time that they agreed to do the project? If that wasn't the amount that I'm agreed, and then
but you are not saying, say, even if they committed 81 million from the start, now project not started, echo, now variation abemua because of crisis in Tinomo halty project. Is that what you're saying?
Obi, that would be my position. That would be my position because T. Many in this addited through power be what you is that promises.
How would you know that?
I'm telling you.
That's what you know.
Oh, but you and I know. Even the entire country is in crisis, according to what these people have told us. We are in crisis. It is if you are in crisis, that crisis in your but a financial crisis in your what? Office idea here to say is to commit 200 something million to build a premises, a structure for our Bank of Ghana to use because they don't have any place to use.
But the initial investment in Nano, a waste over $80 million. They are shame of that.
What can you say to Antonia?
What's it the building?
It's not just an edifice.
All the other installations.
Who doesn't know this? I mean, even people's private houses, but with me, we are one name. I want to say, I buy you a good no,
I'm not talking.
So those ones are there. It's not just a building.
The security installation.
I don't need to be told. I'm a security person.
Yeah.
I don't need to be educated on this.
Okay,
we know. Say, and then we never can use you, but the people say, and I did hear say, see, what's your name? What's your, what's the argument? What's the argument to make it? Was that not logical?
You know,
what's in?
No, I said you can be no kind.
Exactly. Okay, was that not logical? Congrats, will be. If you say, as someone may can say, yeah, the hearers and the factors, see, I'm not here. Maybe imagine money means someone. Me who say impose never Bank of Ghana put here impose new complex, new premises for whatever reason that they are cited. Some of the reasons are very bogus. The initial reason I'm about to say earthquake is 7 years. It means that the Supreme Court now. I was here to free because earthquake is here and come on down and just 50 meters away from Supreme Court. And then just Supreme Court in here. It is a earthquake is something that move to the air and the commercial market officer was right behind you. And
the other thing they say IMF. The IMF are trying now. Like I say, even to balance our books and to bring debt down to GDP ratio to 55 now. That's by 2028.
Of course, yeah.
And if we are to go with that, then okay, this crisis might last from now till 2028.
That's about 5 years more.
6 years
more to go. Yeah.
Say a whole project now. You committed almost $100 million, and they say in till say 2029. Ebedu ono. Now you hear $500 million to finish. But that is also the opportunity cost. The other side
okay,
of the way.
Well, that point you are making, you may not be far from the truth. But the point is that Obi, I still don't agree to the fact that we should proceed with this thing, looking at all that is involved. Okay, I still don't agree that we should proceed with it. There are so many reasons why in Tia you do it. So we can one report we did not just cite DDEP as the only problem why in Tia they are suffering.
Okay.
It's cited currency depreciation. One component any other government no can do say or mind currency depreciation money the institution and mobile say depreciation no and cut to the sense of more put a bit to affect them.
It is the finance ministry.
But they work with them.
Fiscal.
Obi. They work with them They are together. Finance ministry. I mean, it's like you sitting there telling me. Say, I mean, I said, energy crisis, but my blame me. Energy ministry. No, you here go blame me. ECG. Anybody have a can? What is it?
Because finance ministry is subservient to the other. In this case, the Bank of Ghana is autonomous.
And your autonomous just in Jalibo be an found. Is that what it means? That way, I mean, we're talking about you can just do anything anyhow. No, I mean, I never have something.
Autonomy doesn't mean that you can do whatever you
want. Good, and so what do you want to do? If I'm telling you, sir, their actions, honestly, they work hand in hand with the Minister of Finance. I agree.
No, okay. Because they work together. Of course, there are the two strands of policy.
Lawyer, I think your point largely.
You have not been fair to lawyer.
How?
Just say, lawyer, as some of us know, say $100 million, no, and you young Tuasu in 2029, no. What's in response? Or Joe say, what can you answer more? But don't see.
But mom does implication. Yes. So what can you